Hello, everyone. It is Miss Barker here, and today we are beginning our research paper topics, which I know you are all very, very ecstatic to do. Today we are going to be talking about topic selection and how to find our three topics to begin this process. So, we're going to be going to ORHS Library and we're going to type that into Google. And from here, we're going to be going to this first link, which is the ORHS Library Commons home. Now we're going to be going to departments. We're going to be going to Social Studies, World History 9, and we're going to be clicking on Mr. Apperson's link. Now, this has a lot on this page, and I'm not going to lie about it. There's a lot here. It can be really overwhelming. But I want you to think about this in a different aspect. This is one-stop shopping for you. This has a lot of incredible links that are credible that I've really looked over and looked at and put them on a page for you to be able to really quickly and easily find all the information that you're going to need to do a great research paper. When you search Google, you can come across, some really good sources, some really credible sources that will really help you with your paper. But you can also come across lots of stuff that's fake and phony and has bad information and is not cited correctly. And those sources are really going to bring your paper down, and it might give you a very bad grade to use those sources. So when you use this page here, this page is going to have credible sources that's going to be very efficient to look through and really help you to write a great paper. So when I'm choosing a topic, I could actually look at this link here, and the choosing a topic link has information that's pulled from the History Research Guide. Now, here are some questions that we could start to think about. Was there a topic you were interested that you covered in class? You've covered a really long time period at this point in time. You've covered up to imperialism, and there's a lot of history there. You could also think about, have you thought about anything that wasn't covered but was really interesting to you? You could think about, is there a region that you're interested in? Think about, is there a country or a continent that fascinates you? Maybe you're really interested in Russia, or maybe you're really interested in, Korea because the Olympics are on right now and you're thinking a lot about North and South Korea. Maybe you're really interested in South America and you're thinking a lot about like Venezuela or Brazil or one of these countries. Think about it like that. Also think about, maybe your family members are from a certain country that you might want to learn more about, or maybe your family members have visited a certain country and really fell in love with it. Really, there's a lot of different things to think about with region and geographical locations. Also, just start flipping through your textbooks for ideas. There's like quotes and pictures and charts that really pop out. There's sidebars, there's timelines, there's really graphic elements in the textbook to really think about, what could interest you. Also, we want to be thinking about a time period that interests you. So, we did cover a lot in class, and I'll actually scroll back because there's a lot of time that was covered. So we covered all the way, but you covered all the way from the 1500s. You covered all the way from the scientific revolution and the Enlightenment period all the way to imperialism. But you still have the 20th century, the 1900s to get to. You've got World War I, the Russian Revolution, all the way to the late Cold War. So maybe when you're thinking about this, you're thinking, Miss Barker, I'm actually really interested in the 1920s. So with that in mind, I'm actually just going to type in 1920s into Google. This is something that we all do, and it's kind of, very instinctual just to type in to Google and try to get an answer. So the first thing that usually almost always pops up is going to be a Wikipedia article. Now, this might shock you, but I actually really love Wikipedia as a topic selection source. So what do I mean by that? I mean that Wikipedia is a fantastic resource to be clicking through different links to really help you to find a great topic. Is it a total reliable source that we should be quoting in our papers? No, it's not a credible source that we should be citing in our papers, but it is a great topic selection. So I'm going to click on 1920s Wikipedia, the Wikipedia article for the 1920s, and I'm going to let this load. And when I'm looking through, it's talking about, the calendar, but it also, the second line mentions North America. So, when it talks about North America, it includes North America. So it includes, the United States, and also includes Canada, and, that's North America. But We are not in US history. We are in world history. So we really need to be thinking about this from the world perspective. So, maybe we don't want to be covering the Roaring 20s in Canada. Instead, we want to be looking out, at other time periods. So let's just kind of scroll down and see, if I found World War One, Spanish flu, the flu season. This is a really bad flu season right now. So maybe I'm really thinking about, what kind of epidemics have happened or flu epidemics that have happened in the past. Spanish flu would be really interesting. Kind of looking through South America, Venezuela, interesting. Oh, here we go. We've got communism. Okay, I'm kind of interested in communism and learning more about communism. Oh, and then we've got something on like the Bolsheviks. Oh, that sounds really familiar. I think we're actually going to be covering, the Bolsheviks, upcoming. We're going to be covering the Russian Revolution. So let's kind of look through. And, it's talking about Belarus and it's talking about the Communist Party. And then, sure enough, is the Russian Revolution of 1917. So now I'm starting to learn that there was a dismantled czar. And I'm starting to think, oh, Emperor Nicholas II? That sounds really interesting and really familiar. Like I feel like I've heard about him before. Now, at this time, I just want to mention that I actually really do, and I love Russian Revolution, and the Russian Revolution. I'm very interested in the Romanov family. So Nicholas II might be interesting to you, and also how the Bolshevik Revolution happened, and also what happened with the execution of the Romanovs. So when I'm on this page, I can actually do something. I can do some really cool things. I can start to look at the contents. So I can start to look at all the different things that happened in his life. I can scroll down. I can look at the sources. I can look at, what did they cite in this? I can look at the further reading, which is amazing. And that's going to be really helpful, with taking this topic and moving it to more credible sources. I could look at external links, and all of these things are fantastic. And I recommend that you do this on almost every Wikipedia page. These are such great resources down here. But I also highly recommend that we go to the Talk tab. Now, the Talk tab is where all of the article writers actually put their notes and information and talk to other article writers. And when I'm looking through here, I can see that it's rated C class, and that might be interesting because we're going to actually learn about what that means. And then I can also look down and I can see all the different things that they've been talking about. So they've been talking about Rasputin, they've been talking about murder, killing, execution. Maybe they're talking about, what does it mean? Fake Anastasia. So that was his daughter. So we can start to learn more about, Anastasia. So what does that mean that it was a rated C class article? So what that means is it's kind of like getting a C on a paper. It's not the best, but it's an okay thing. So there might be some credible information in here, but there might not be the best information. It's not, they're still talking about a lot of different things on this page, even executed. So maybe they're even talking about, I replaced the word executed with murdered. So there's little nuances that are written into this page. But maybe I'm now thinking, I don't really want to cover Nicholas II. I'm really more interested in Anastasia. So when we actually finally load the article again, we can actually get to Anastasia's page. And what I want you to keep in mind when you're doing this is I've gotten now basically from the 1920s to once I click on Anastasia to Anastasia. I've clicked on, multiple different articles to get to this point in time. And you want to think about it like this. When you are on YouTube, you watch a video that you really enjoy. You get, videos recommended to you and you start to click on them. We've all spent hours on YouTube just clicking on different things and kind of making our way through this process and this strange thing. The same thing happens on Wikipedia. You start to click on different hyperlinks and it starts to bring you to different pages and you start to learn about new and fascinating and really cool stuff. So this page is really having some troubles loading. So now I'm going to scroll down to the side and, Anastasia's on the side here under issues, but also, it's his daughter. And the reason that I'm going to pull up Anastasia's article is because her article is actually listed as a great article, which is really fantastic. And it means that it has really good sources in it. So this star over here means it's a great article. And now that I've, figured out that I really want to do something more on Anastasia, maybe perhaps, I am now ready to go to some book resources and really delve into the Romanovs and the Russian Revolution. So This is going to be the end of this video, and we're going to check back in and look at some books and some other sources for the next video.